Hi, Roy here on my channel, Roy Reads Anything, and anything includes all the things I read in 2023 and all the things I'm going to read in 2024. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a look back and a look forward. Not going to dwell too much on 2023. In some ways, for me personally, it was a year that sucked, but not in the booktubular sense. So things that were good in 2023 on the booktube. Well, we tried some new things. I think it was this year we launched the poetry, which is usually Jenny reading a poem, and it's almost become a dual channel that's got its own audience, its own sort of branding, really. Completely not what you're supposed to do, but it works really well. We enjoy it, and so there you go. So Poetry Thursday year, great. I enjoyed Garbaugust, the month of reading trashy books, where I was a host. Probably the first time I've been invited to co-host an event, so awesome. Similarly, it was the first ever Occult Detective October event devised by MJ, and I was a co-host on that as well, so that was really good. So what else happened? Yeah, generally getting to know people and enjoying participating in the community. Did a few live things. Again, that was something I've not really done before. So yeah, 2023. Oh, and a vacation vlog as well. We did a vlog of a trip, a week in Scotland, which people seem to like. So great. I won't do any best, worst, or rankings of books. It's just not my thing. I don't know why not. But I don't do Morris dancing or eat oysters. It's in the same group as those activities. So looking ahead to 2024, well, for the first half of the year, things are going to be a bit different. So here is channel news.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, basically, because of the aforementioned year of sucking, I'm way behind finishing my master's degree. So I've got what we call in Britain a dissertation, even though it's a master's, not a doctorate. So a thesis. Got a long piece of work to write. It's about occult detectives and Victorian magazines, so it's stuff I love. I do enjoy doing the writing, although I'm taking more time to do stuff like that for various reasons due to sort of the clobbering of the mental health. So got to focus on that, but I will still do some booktube stuff. It will be streamlined down basically to whatever I can produce at the weekends, like to be a video. So sort of thinking more like a roundup or miscellany type of thing. Won't really be doing any deep dives or anything that needs a lot of research or finding 50 scans or anything like that for the next few months. So that's sort of how that has to be, but still plan to keep a toe in the water. Might take a kind of vlog approach with that and record like a couple of minutes every now and again and then stick it all together. And hope that makes a video. So we'll see, but you'll have to bear with me. But I'll still be here, and yeah, I'm still be doing Read What You Own. So for me, Read What You Own slow coach version is likely to take up until November, so virtually the whole year. So Read What You Own is almost the operating system for my reading, I suppose. But nevertheless, I'd still hope to participate in some events because I like the events. And even though I'll be working hard on my academic stuff, I still will read a little bit for relaxation. Might work out more like a book a week. Jenny, you look as if you're...
I was just going to say, so you'll be down to 50 books a week instead of 100.
Yeah, something like that.
Seem to do.
I'm not actually that fast a reader.
You're loads faster than me, matey.
So so keen on events like Holmes for the Holidays, a February reading event involving Sherlock Holmes. You're looking at me again. What now?
I'm gazing on your strange unnatural beauty, dear.
Okay. It's a bit unnerving. I'm used to the audience being invisible.
I'll put a bag on my head.
That's a good idea. Yes, Holmes for the Holidays. I reckon I can do some of that. Criminally is organising a Garbaugust wasted weekend in February, so aiming to do that as well. So that's a sort of halfway towards between two Garbaugusts, spending a weekend of reading trashy fiction. That could be fun. Giant April, well, that's my own solo event. I've already bought the books for that, so that's a month when I'll be reading about giant apes such as King Kong and his other chums. So don't really want to lose that one. Talking about my own stuff, I still want to make a progress through the set of magazines I've got with the original publication of H. Rider Haggard's Aisha, the sequel to She. So that's happening. So should be checking in with that as well as we go along. And then the sort of the year of, the booktube calendar, the June on the Range, the Shake-tember, the Victober. Should be there for all of those, but with a light touch. I'll be like those birds that never land. Swifts, I think. They must land at some point.
Swallows. Well, they land in their nests.
They dart around, eating their insects, but they're not fully committed. They're not landing and hanging out in a particular place. They're flitting about, taking an insect here, an insect there. That's my role model for the year. A flitting bird of booktube, and we'll still do Poetry Thursdays as well.
Hooray!
Is the plan. So that's my news. Talking of read what you own, what I've just finished is a book called Miracle by Connie Willis, science fiction writer Connie Willis, and it's one of those, like, it was on my Kindle, I can barely remember getting it, but it's a collection of Christmas stories. So I read it in the run up to Christmas, and then when I realised that the final story was both called and set on Epiphany, I thought, I'll read that on January the 6th. So that's what I did. Finished that, really good. I mean, I do like Connie Willis. I sometimes, with some of her stories, I finished them and thought, well, that was great. I wonder what happened.
That's me with every book I read.
But she's fine, and yes, so enjoyed that one. Next up will be Meddling Kids. Meddling Kids, we just talked about before, though I don't think I've ever brandished the book at you. Edgar Cantero, the Blyton Summer Detective Club, and obviously it's got a reference to the sort of children's detective stuff, but it's supernatural as well. Looking at this, it's quite chunky, but then there aren't that many words on the pages, so I don't think that will take too long to read. And I'm actually buddy reading that with MJ, so that should be fun. No one seems to have a bad word to say about this book, so that's really good. As you can see, decorations gone, books are back, including the giant family-size copy of James Joyce's Ulysses. I believe there's a read-along for Ulysses as well, but not sure if that's been announced yet. But if that's there, I'll try and jump onto that too. So, yes, that's my reading. That was my last year. That's my next year. Who knows exactly how much of that will get done. Oh, I'll tell you what else I'm reading. Alan Moore's Jerusalem, which I realised I had in 3 formats, but had never actually finished. So with MJ reading 10 pages a day, that's kind of shamed me into having a go at that as well. I've restarted at the beginning and really enjoying it. No idea why I stopped reading it. Yes, Alan Moore's Jerusalem. I've also got his short story collection Illuminations on my Read What You Own TBR pile. So could be year of lots of Alan Moore, could be year of lots of books about the Japanese Navy. You just never know, do you? Except I haven't got any books about the Japanese Navy, which put a crimp in it. Yeah, I should have made an exception for that.
About the Japanese Navy.
Our Historathon. That's a tricky one in terms of not having the books, but I really like the idea of it, where to participate in Historathon, reading non-fiction history books, it could be one book a quarter, but they're in periods. So I've got a book from the library that's set in prehistory, which would meet the requirements for the first quarter. So we'll see about that. That's an aspiration, but like I say, swifty swallow, swifty swallow. Right. Unless Dr. Jenny's got any interjections to make.
No.
Right. Okay then. Well, I'll be back soon with something else under the new order of Roy Reads Anything.